controlling the car. 5:03, that's not bad. That's comparable to the second lap of Karlsruhe. So up there for sure with the fastest one. Here you go, 484, 494. Only 800 of a second slower than Aachen. Very, very good drive from us. So well done.
Indeed, and what a difference. 2/10 between right and left, and we see a similar thing with all the cars. So apart from Karlsruhe, but also Aachen, 2/10 between them.
Yeah, maybe it has to do something with the banking of the... Well, there we go. Some carnage going on the track by the driver of Lisboa. So for sure, this will not be their quickest time, at least. I would not expect that to be. While the marshals are trying to rebuild the track, Lisboa finishes is on 5.22, but of course every cone is here 0.2 seconds, I believe.
Yeah, indeed.
So, 2/10 of a second added to their time.
Yeah, and the driver was really struggling. It was like correcting all the time, so either the car is a bit nervous or the driver just needs to get in his rhythm.
Yeah, we're just trying to find the absolute limit of the car and then dialing it back a little bit for the second run. Who knows?
Yeah, one of the advantages now of the lights on the cones is that you can very clearly see when a cone is hit. Sometimes we need to speculate a little bit, but now in the dark it is very clear. And there they go. You can see Mickey, it's like throttle and turning and they're like all in a bit of it, gonna get warm, that's for sure. 4.9, so that gives them a 4.98, very decent time by Lisboa.
Yeah, you could hear the tires all over, right? I mean, especially the second term, you could hear the tires just protesting against this driving style. Maybe even half rally driving this car. It looks spectacular though, very close to the cones. So I'm actually quite amazed no cones were collected or knocked over. So well done by the Lisboa driver.
I think this is the first appearance of Torino here on FSG, on the dynamics at least. They have a very beautiful car with like the Italian flag highlights on the front wing and also on the rear wing. Pretty cool. Let's see what their times are. It's a little bit more conservative, 5.8 on the right. And again, 2/10 quicker on the left, resulting in a total time of 5.7, or at least the average time.
Yeah, and this is not easy, is it, Matti? I know a lot of teams have been testing in the light, or not even having tested at all. Sometimes even testing with 2 motors instead of 4. So yeah, this is not easy, especially now with all these lights. For sure, teams don't have these kind of lights available to them. So for sure, this is a challenging circumstance. So kudos to these drivers.
But I have to say, so far they're all very clean. We've seen in the past drivers making mistakes in cutting into the middle and those kind of things, or only doing 1 lap. But knocking on wood maybe. But so far all the drivers have been doing it very cleanly. And we see an improvement, a big improvement even.
5.33. If you compare that to the first ride, so 5.72 and the 5.33, if you knock off 4/10 of a second of your quickest time, then you're doing a good job for sure.
Yeah, too bad they can't do a third time, otherwise they would go below the 5 seconds. But this is their Skidpad for FS26.
Yeah, that's what makes it a bit more challenging as well. You only get 2 tries. And as I'm saying, I think this is Dortmund. Yeah, there we go, the car from Dortmund, knocking over the cones. Even though the first lap doesn't count in time, all the cones that are hit in the first lap and the third lap are counted towards the time. So Dortmund now finishing in a 5:06, which is actually not bad. But of course, these cones will hurt their time for sure.
Indeed, but now the driver knows what the limit is. You could clearly see the moment he turned in, car just understeered, hit some cones. But all right, he has a second attempt, so let's hope he can keep it clean now, because this is quite a decent pace.
Yeah, and that's also the tricky part of going left first, because that's banking downwards, right? So it's very easy to understeer the car out of the Skidpad area. So you have to be very careful, especially in the second. The first one you can try, you can see how much grip you have before you have understeer. But the second one, you need to stay within the cones and not hit the outside cones. If any cones are hit, it will be the outside because of the understeer situation.
Talking about situations, we have a funny situation where one of the cones, which is supposed to be white, at least the light, is red now. I'm not sure
yeah, it should be green even, I think.
Green, yeah.
Because the outside lights should be green and the inside lights are white and the exit lights are orange or red. But it's been fixed, so well done by the marshals.
All right, Dortmund, will the driver get it all together now and maybe go sub 5 seconds? Looking good, still a bit of understeer, I feel like, but it's all clean, not too much drama. Almost clipping the cones there in a similar fashion as the first run, but just avoiding it. And we start to hear some tires, so that's good. Yes, 4.96, very decent lap time.
Yeah, the two time laps are very close to each other, 200ths of a second, 4.95 and 4.96. Obviously gives you 4.97 and 4.96 in the end. So yeah, very good. But these times are very close and competitive, Matti. Look, we've had a 4.94, 4.98, 4.96. Very interesting, very close indeed.
Yeah, indeed, and I wonder, usually, you know, the track gets a bit warmer, it gets a bit more rubbery, but here we have maybe the opposite, where actually it gets cooler, but a little bit more rubber, so I do not know when the optimal time is to go. Maybe it's now, maybe it's later, I don't know. And now finally we get to see both sides of the Prague car. Very nice and beautiful car. They were aiming. I had a chat with the guy just before, and he was aiming for a 5.3, I think. And he is already going quicker than what they expected. So good job by the driver. Again, 2/10 between right and left.
Yeah, but this is the first run, and we've seen the difference in the second run becoming far less than that. And also 5.16 for the first run is not bad for sure, because the driver needs to get the feel for the track and needs to define the grip. I wouldn't be surprised if this would be towards 5 seconds or maybe even below.
I'll go bold prediction below 5. I have trust in this driver. Let's have a look at the first right-hand time. 5.07, so it's not looking good for my bold prediction. Can the driver improve a lot on the left as well? Let's see. 4.98, all right, I just made it.
Yeah, big difference between the two laps. So that one saved you there, Matti, because a 4.88 is actually one of the quickest times to the left. So yeah, 4.98 again, around the 5 second mark, just below the 5 seconds. It's very close indeed.
All right, another car we have not seen yet, Midweida, I think, with some cool neon lights on the bottom, which is allowed in this event. They especially asked the teams to decorate their car a bit with lights, as we've also seen last year in the Crazy 20. The car looks a bit understeered, but actually relatively quick for a car without any wings. And it is a 5.9, so they stay below the 6 seconds. Good job.
Yeah, for a car without wings, without any under tray, without any power ground effect or any wings on it, it's not bad. 5.9. Probably there's still a couple of tenths in there, right? I mean, the driver getting used to the track.
Yeah, I could see the driver like struggling with the border of understeer, so I really wonder if there's more in there. I would not know how he or she could solve it and not get into the understeer phase, but we'll see. Only thing that works is, I guess, a bit more temperature in the tires. We'll find out in a second. Off they go. So the first right-hander doesn't count, and the second is the one that is measured. Will they improve? It does look neater. Yeah, 2/10 again. It's becoming very predictable now.
Yeah. So, but that's a good thing, because then we know what the progression is of the driver and the car, right? So 5.63. So they did improve almost more than 2/10 of a second. 5.69. for Mittweida, well done. Maybe there's not much left in the car.
No, very good run. Clearly, like the driver was really a lot cleaner than the first run, so good job by them. But I feel like if everyone improves 2/10, then we can just keep it to one run, and then we can go to bed a bit earlier. And what car do we have in front of us now? Is that Sevilla? I don't know, it's Bern. I'm not sure if we saw them already in one of the driverless parts. I did not, I think, but they are quick. Wow. Car is looking, driver is struggling a little bit, but it is very quick. 5.1 on the first right-hander, that's very competitive. And then below the 5 seconds on the left, bringing to a total time of 5.05. Wow.
Wow, this should be quick the second time around. I mean, let's not jinx it, but if the driver manages to keep it clean, I would definitely see this below 4.9, maybe even below 4.95. So we'll see.
I say 4.89.
Wow, that would be very quick. Well, you never know.
And off they go. Oh, a little bit of struggling, oscillations on the throttle pedal, meaning that the throttle is a bit too sensitive. That will not be good for their time. They improve a little bit, but it's not going to be what I predicted. Yeah, really bouncing around. Oh, what?
4.71. Bern on that second lap was on fire.
Imagine if the driver did not have, the oscillation on the throttle pedal on the right. They would have obliterated.
Yeah, there was a big difference between left and right, right? I mean, that's almost 4/10 of a second difference.
They did the quickest left time so far.
By
from
far,
Bern.
yeah.
Wow. Okay, now we're looking forward to see them tomorrow on acceleration and autocross as well. And I've also noticed that, of course, usually the marshals, they're waving with flags to give a green flag, but in these dark conditions it's a bit harder. So I do see the official also having like this light stick in green to indicate to the driver as an equivalent to the green flag.
Well, it looks like the Romanian team for Cluj-Napoca had some issues, collected a couple of cones. We can see the marshals coming up to the track to try to repair it. And I think also the team is already at the side of the driver. Not sure what happened there.
I think in the switch, what sometimes happens is that drivers kind of turn a little bit left too early and end up in the middle of the circuit. Yeah, once you're in the middle, it's hard to know where you need to go. Luckily, or I'm not sure if it's luckily, they end up at the starting point again, so maybe they can just go for another run, but this is going to be a DNF for sure. The car is making its way on its own power. I think the official is kind of like indicating to make a U-turn to start again. While these cars are super nimble if they're driving, they actually have a horrible turning circle if they're driving very slowly. And wow, in the queue in the meantime, is that the brightest T-Sol I've ever seen? I don't know what car it is, but that is very bright.
So still the fastest overall lap time, average lap time of Aachen with a 4.86. So that will be, well, quite challenging to beat. But there are a lot of teams very close to that, right? I mean, there are 4 or 5 teams within 1/10 of a second. So that's pretty good. Cluj-Napoca going for the second run of this driver. A bit more tentative, which is understandable. Going into the...
Oh no, again the same problem.
Oh no.
So what happened is the driver turned left on kind of the exit of the left turn. That's, yeah, a shame. Twice in a row. Unfortunately, it will again be a DNF. I don't think there's anything we can change about that. He was trying to make it one big oval, which would also be fun. Maybe we should introduce that as discipline.
Yeah, like I said, it's dark, and these lights can be confusing, right? So especially if you're in the car, you have a helmet on, maybe you're deep in the cockpit, you probably don't see everything quite well. So it's understandable that this happens. Although we see these kind of things also during broad daylight, right? So we used to see drivers go into the middle of the circle. So yeah, it happens.
If I have a quick look, the top 10 is separated by 0.2 of a second, so it's a super tight field now.
Yeah, and Matti, what does it say for the points that they earn? Is it like a progressive model, or is it just all compared to the fastest one?
It is indeed not based on position, but on indeed lap time purely. So if you're second or 10th, doesn't matter. It depends on how far away in time you are compared to the first one. And in total, there are 50 points to be earned on this event. And we have Osnabrück now driving 2, 6, 7, collecting some cones in the process. You cannot take them home, unfortunately. And they have a very bright T-cell, right? And unfortunately, the car is coming to a halt, either to inspect the cone he smashed, or there was some problem. Actually, it might have been that the driver was slightly confused about the cone lying on the track. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, this was clearly an interrupted run, so we have not seen the true pace of this car yet.
But then again, a second run coming up for Osnabrück. I think the driver did the right thing. Right? When in doubt, you should slow down, look at the marshals, try to communicate, have eye contact, see what's going on. There's no use driving over fallen cones and destroying your wing or whatever. So when in doubt, just take it slow. Unfortunately, Osnabrück collecting another cone and another 2 and 3. So it looks like 3 more cones added to the tally of Osnabrück. Driver again coming to a halt. Not sure exactly why. It's better to, well, it continues into the this was second lap on the left side. Again coming to a halt, almost driving very slow. Not sure whether this is intentional or there's something wrong with the car. Probably the latter one.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's indeed something with the car. It's happening too often now. Also a new concept. You know, we had cars carrying cones with them, but actually now he was carrying one of the lights with them, which looked pretty cool.
Yeah, but it's not lightweight, is it, Matti? I'm not sure whether that was a good idea.
No, and also the static downforce, not sure if that's a good idea. Who do you have next? Let's have a look. If we already have some information about them. In the dark, of course, it is even harder to see what car is lined up. You can only see that it has a T-cell, and now it's actually going green, so for some reason it's discharged. And I hear the T-cell sound again, so managed to get it going. The rule in Formula Student is kind of as long as a driver can restart the car within what he or she is able to reach, then it's all fine. The moment you need to, you need external assistance, that's when actually your run gets DNF'd or DQ'd. That's also what we saw with the Delft. car stopping after a few meters. Driver managed to restart, so that was absolutely fine. Some last minute track modifications are being done before we can get our next car, and I'm really curious to see which car it is now. I still don't know. The 113 car I'm hearing, which is, well, it's quite slow. I think they also slowed down for the bump, which is over there. And this is Munich Motorsport, US Munich, driven by Lukas Schwarz. And it's sliding nicely, giving a good show for us. Certainly on the exit. Car is not afraid to let the rear slide a bit. It can be beneficial, but if it's too much, then of course you lose a bit of time. It's 5.3, good start. I do feel there's a bit more in there. Driver definitely struggling to find the grip on the track at the moment.
Yeah, for sure, 0.2 of a second difference again between left and right. If the driver manages to bring that down, maybe 10 or 2, then we should see a very decent time with some decent points.
And I'm also hearing that the live stream died for a moment, so you'll have to rely on us on information. I think, Mickey, this is our opportunity to, invent some stuff that's happening to make the people that cannot see it a bit jealous. Either way, Munich Motorsport again for their second run. This looks quicker, no? Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely quicker. And if I look at the time, it's 5.1, which is already 3/10 of a second faster than the first try.
And we know left can be quicker,
really
so
looking forward to the second lap.
This is sub 5.
4.95, 5.00. Again, a very, very good time from the US Munich car. To be honest, Matti, I don't think the live stream is dead. It's dark, so probably people just don't see anything.
Yeah, that might be an explanation, actually. And I'm afraid, Mickey, we also jinxed it, because I heard the live stream is back on. The moment we said it, it was live again. So there goes our little glory period, where the people had to rely on us.
Yes, as Tristan is asking us to keep talking. Well, that we can do.
137 is the GFR. It is. And then let's have a look. They do not have any driver info. They go for a 5.3, which we know is a good first run, certainly on the right. Can they also do the 0.2 delta again on the left? Wow.
No. So the answer is no. Not a 0.2 delta. It's almost 0.5 of a second, or half a second faster on the left lap.
Okay, this must be a sub 5, right?
Yeah, for sure. If, for sure, the right lap should be below the 5-second mark as well, and then we might even see a challenge for the top spot, right? So this was very fast. 4.87. If you compare that to the fastest lap of Bern just a couple of minutes ago, that's only 0.16 of a second between the two.
Off they go for their second attempt. Let's see if they can get the right-hander in this similar order of magnitude as the left-hand side. Wow, 4.94, this might be a good one. Ooh, exciting. Wow, quickest time of the day, 4.84. Wow.
Only 200 per second, but still it's faster. Told you. The second lap was really promising, even though it wasn't as fast as the Bern second lap, or third lap we should say, but still the average time was good enough to beat the fastest time. Well done.
Yeah, just to give you an idea, this was the fastest right-hand side lap, just a bit quicker than Aachen and Dortmund, and it was a very quick left as well, 0.3 of Bern. This is Revolve NTNU going very quickly. The driver is called Mann, and they are going quick indeed. We know 5.06 is a very quick lap for the first right-hander. Can they do the 0.2 delta again? Yes, they can. Oh, it's only 1/10, but a very solid time.
5.00 on the first attempt. That's very promising. It's only 0.16 of a second slower than the second lap of Ravensburg GFR. So this should be very interesting in the second run.
Yeah, and I find the progression very big now. The delta between right and left is insanely big. Also, the progression between the first and second run is very big. I wonder why that is. Would it be temperatures, or is it more the drivers getting used to all the lighting and the different scenarios that they haven't done before, really? I think for all these drivers, it's the first time they do a night Skidpad. So I do feel there's a bit of getting used to it, but this looks good. 4.9, very strong, up there with the best right-hand side times. Wow, best time of the day, very solid right-hand, very solid left-hand time, gives them the quickest of the day, 4.82, 2/100ths of a second quicker than GFR that we just saw.
But just look at the differences, 4.82, 4.84, 4.86. On the fastest lap times on average, so very impressive. I don't think the track is actually getting quicker. It's I think the better teams are coming, and they're very competitive. I mean, 2/100ths of a second over a lap time of 10 seconds or 5 seconds average is very, very small. So yeah, just a great job from these teams.
Yeah, I agree. We had the first car, Aachen, with a 4.8, and now Trondheim, which we know is similar in performance, also doing a similar time. So I think indeed the track is pretty constant. And we have some cool lighting going on the Rocklaw car. This is. I think I really like their team. They had a cool business presentation with a coffee machine. Now they're also showing off with their lights. I like it. And it's a pretty decent time. Again, 2/10 delta between right and left, 5.2. So they might be able to shave off 2/10, maybe a bit more, and go sub 5.
Yeah, I would say they should be able to get within, let's say, 5.05 or 5.00, something like that. If we see the same progression as we saw from other teams. But maybe even more, so maybe it will be sub 5. Until now, you were absolutely right, Matti, so maybe you'll be right again.
I do feel like if you have cool lights, you should get like, 5/100ths of a second off as a bonus. I'm not sure if the officials will like this idea. That was basically the concept of Crazy 20, where you got rated both on your speed and your looks, at least from the car. So
for sure, Vrokla is winning the style award, if there was one. But the car looks really, really cool.
Off they go again for their second attempt. Looks a lot quicker, 5.06 on the right-hand side, so that is promising for a sub 5 total time. Yeah, it's a lot quicker, and the driver is definitely pushing a lot more. Oh, 5.00, I think we jinxed it a bit. But really strong time by them. Didn't quite, no, I did improve a lot on the left, yeah. Now the colors of the Rocklaw car really matches the red cones over there. Nice to see. All right, next up, can't quite see it yet. We should get the information anytime soon. Bodensee Racing Team 343. That is, they're not going as constant as I would think on the throttle, but it's not too bad. They also have a really cool headlight. Would it be on the eyes of the car? I know the nose of the Constance car always has a bit of a shark. Whoa, did you see? The color changes of the lights on front. Looking at the time, 5.6, pretty solid. Definitely room for improvement, because big delta between right and left, a bit too big.
They were quite solid, steady state, Constance. Sure.
And it's not just the color changing, the eyes are actually blinking. So it's extra features on the Constance car.
Jonas, where are you? Suddenly, we hear a different voice. This looks to me, I was going to say it's Barcelona, but it is not. It's the team from Pilsen. I think it's also the first time we see them on Dynamics here this year. Beautiful car, to be honest. Really cool blue livery. Driver a little bit hesitant in the switch, but of course the first left-hander doesn't really matter. They had quite a nice first right-hander, 6.1, and then improved a lot on the left side. So definitely some improvements there, I think. Sub 5 will be ambitious, but you never know with these drivers. Off they go for the second run, second attempt. Team from Pilsen, car 102. How much can they improve? This looks a lot better, a lot more stable. And it is an improvement of half a second, 5.6 on the right-hand side. So if they do 5.4 now on the left, then we get an average of 5.5. Will the prediction come true? Yes, it does. It's becoming very predictable. 5.5 from Team Pilsen, improvement of 4/10 on their previous lap. So also they can be very happy with a clean run as well. Honestly, we haven't seen much drama. All the drivers, despite the new conditions, despite the cones with the lights on, so far very clean. Only a few hit a few cones, so well done to them.
Yeah, all of them are in control, right? We haven't seen any spins or a major drama, right? So until now, a very good job from all these drivers.
And there goes Karlsruhe. They started off with quite high speed, but it doesn't quite result in the lap times yet. The right hand was a 5.4, which is good, but not top. Also the left, 5.58. One of the first cars that actually went slower on the left than the right. Now, of course, it was their first run. So let's see if they can improve for the second one.
And here we go for the second try of the Karlsruhe team. Even higher speed than the first time, so it looks quite good. Let's see the lap time, 5:11. That's more than 3/10 of a second quicker. If the left-hand side can be below the 5-second mark, then we should see a very good, very good time on average. 5:18. So again, a bit slower on the left side than on the right side. So, but still a 5.14 is not bad. A decent amount of points, but remarkable.
Yeah, this is the only car, right, that is quicker on the right than the left. So either all the cars here are tuned to turn left, or there is a difference in the track and they have a big difference in left and right. This is a quick one. Who is this? Esslingen. The driver is Jesse Louis Rutlander. I'm not sure if I pronounced it well, but he is going very quick. Does it also result in a very quick lap time? Definitely. Quickest right-hander that we've seen so far, 4.89. How does the left side look? 4.85. Wow. This is the quickest first Skidpad we've seen so far. And only, what is it, 500ths off? Wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this will be below the 4.8 mark. 4.78 or 4.77 or even quicker. I don't think that we take 2/10 of a second faster as we saw the other teams, because this was already quite fast. But yeah, just watch and learn.
Yeah, and it's a combination of aggression by the driver, which I haven't seen yet in other teams, but the car is holding it. So it is quick. Driver definitely pushing, come on, keep it on the track. It's an improvement. A little bit, but that's all they need to be the best time. Slight wobble on the second left, so not sure if there's going to be improvement. It is. Wow. 4.80. Yeah, they really got the right-hander under control, something that other teams didn't quite manage, so that was the recipe for their success.
Yeah, but already the first one was a 4.87 and the second one 4.80. That shows you how steady state this driver is with this car. Impressive.
I also heard that the live stream is down again. No worries, we are here to tell you what is happening. And then hopefully, by the time we say it, the stream is back up. We see some, did the car already start? Let's, I had a feeling it was starting already. Let's see what car this is. It's always coming to a halt after driving 20 centimeters. It did not really start the Skidpad yet. I can also not see it on the timing screens yet, so I also do not know which car it is.
As long as the driver can restart the car by itself, it doesn't matter, because the second lap and the fourth lap are the ones that count, right? So that's something we should keep in mind.
Yeah, same thing again, the driver just lurching forward and still not quite in range of the RFID antenna, so we still can't quite tell. This is even more difficult than during daylight conditions. Now we really can't read the car numbers at all anymore.
And technical update, the stream is back live again, so looks like we are magic stream fixers. If you need help with your stream, please give us a call.
We'll just say so and make it happen.
Ingolstadt making the same mistake as Cluj, the Romanian team, Cluj-Napoca, going left basically on the exit of the left-hander, and then yeah, once you do that, you're lost. So that is going to be a DNF, unfortunately. We also did not get to see what their pace looks like, so because they didn't quite finish the right-hander. So let's hope this driver can get his focus together and actually do a proper skip at this time, because with the Romanian team that was just twice the same mistake.
I mean, there is a lot to focus on, especially now in these different conditions. You got to remember which color of light is on the inside. You got to remember 2 times right and 2 times left.
Yeah, actually you start counting.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day, I did a couple of skid pads as well, and I had to count. It's like, okay,
very consciously be in the moment.
Third lap, then you know, third lap I go to the left. So that was actually quite funny. But you have to tell yourself, because otherwise you lose it. It's like,
yeah, you really have to follow that thought along. I can really feel with these guys that, oh wait, we're this early already, boom, let's go left. It's just an unfortunate thing. Even more unfortunate is the fact that they do seem to have some trouble keeping the car going. They had to discharge once again in the starting position there.
Okay, fingers crossed. It all goes well now, both the car and the navigation system. The driver is named Linus. So, come on Linus, get it together. And he does, perfectly. What is the time? Sub-6 on the right. So can we see an improvement on the left? Of course, for them now the focus is to just get a run in. It's slowing down. Can it cross the finish line? It can. So that's they'll at least have a time on the board. And then let's see if they can get it back home as well.
We have a slight lull in the on-track frenzy that was basically the first 45 minutes of this event. The queue still looks chock full, to be honest. We have not quite as many cars as when we got going, but now Lund is out on track. They always sneak up on me. That was also the case in the driverless just a couple of hours ago. They had an issue leaving towards the outside of the circle. Maybe indeed, again, they mistook the entry lane as the new way to go.
This is their first appearance, I think, they make here on the Dynamics on FSG. The driver is either Noah Westergaard or Love, Andersson, Ofrel. They mentioned 2 drivers. Maybe they forgot there's only one, one driver for Skidpad. But so far it's not looking too bright for them. If I was a driver now, I would just, do my left hand just to practice as well. I'm not sure if that's allowed.
Yeah, the run is already screwed up. You might as well.
Yeah. Maybe left is a new right. I don't know.
Well, clearly that's what these guys were thinking. Just turn it into an oval. Why not?
Yeah, everyone just got scared after the time from Esslingen, I think. Just now. Well, they're taking quite a detour, Lund.
Yeah, where is he going?
I think he's asking the same question at the moment.
Where did he come from? Where did he go? Well, hopefully onto their second run of the Skidpad. I'm also in the background watching the just-in-time lantern delivery by forklift. So still some rearrangement happening there from the FSG red shirts, no doubt. Here we go, a slight wheel spin off the line from Lund for the second run. Really got to make this one count now. And it's skidded out. It looked like the car itself was just getting unstable at the exit of the right-hand run.
Yeah, I think the car just kind of like shut down for a second. Throttle also seems to be very sensitive, but they do get a run in. It's not too bad. 6.78. Of course, they were quite slow on the right, but they had a very competitive left actually, 5.3. So if only they didn't have too many issues, and I think also on the exit he's having troubles finding the way.
Yeah, you might expect this from maybe a team that isn't used to FSG, maybe an unexperienced driver. This is this is overstimulating in a way. We go, Bean's turn. Their first run of the day. Looks very steady. 5.74, sub 6 seconds. Always a good start for a first run. But it does sound like the car is rattling a little bit, or is that just me?
It's better than last year. Remember, it was the car which we were doubting it was not secretly combustion, so they did make improvements. But indeed, it still has this cool mechanical gearing sound. I kind of like it, but it does raise some questions about efficiency.
I think if I was a drivetrain engineer, I'm not so sure if I would sign this one off, but hey, it's driving. That's all we really care about. 5.56 is a respectable time as well. But yeah, like you mentioned, the top times are going to be extremely close together. Few tenths just separating them. So this is a difficult space to penetrate from.
A lot quicker now, I feel like. Driver definitely pushing more, and it is a significant improvement, half a second. With a 5.2 on the right. Can he get around 5 seconds on the left? Kind of. 5.1, so on average that's a 5.17. I think that's a very big improvement compared to the first lap, so good job by the driver.
Kind of, a little bit, not really, but sort of.
We have a neon car again, and I see some other cars in the queue as well with some really cool lighting, so coming 10 minutes will be delightful.
And this, just looking at the queue, guys, we're in 50 minutes into this event. We still have over 2 hours left until midnight. So this might be one of the rare occasions that teams show up on time, actually. Probably because they want to get some sleep.
Yeah, Pforzheim definitely came early enough to maybe still catch an early night. We have at least a couple of blue lines accented on the side of the car. It's always good. 6.6 seconds in the right-hand side.
And their livery also has these blue wavy patterns, so I really like how they the lights, they did it in the similar pattern as their livery. Really
Yeah,
cool.
I can't see anything from the livery underneath, but hey, at least there's an accent stripe on there somewhere. Right then, second attempt. I'm not sure if this looks any different than the first one, to be honest. Still liking that blue stripe though.
Looks a bit slower. I feel like the driver is holding back more, and now it's even coming to a halt. So
Aye.
might have been due to a technical issue. Car is restarting, but I don't think it will matter too much. They had a first run which was decent, and this will definitely be slower now. Although it was on their first left, so actually it's not too bad.
Yeah, it wasn't timed yet. So
Yeah, my apologies. They actually
still
improved.
an improvement. That's pretty good. Of course, worth mentioning, I'm not sure if you already did, there is always still post-scrutiny. So remember, guys, whatever is on the board can still be augmented with cones. And yeah, there can still be issues in post-scrutineering that might prevent you from scoring points. Right then, 135 we hear over the radio, that's Berlin. The driver is either Manuel Fussel, the Holy Manuel. There's only one, so I guess, well, there is no choice. I thought there was two names. He's doing a decent enough job, a 5.74 on the right-hand side. And, hey, consistent between left and right, 5.75 average. Just splitting the hundreds there.
Yeah, just minor correction. This is actually the car from Ostfalia. I think you mentioned Berlin.
I did, yes.
This Ostfalia WOP Racing, a car that I particularly like in terms of livery. But I also had the feeling the driver was like doing a bit of almost slaloming, trying to get the car under control. Maybe it's a tactic to get some heat in the tires. So hopefully they can improve a bit, but it was already quite decent in the first run. Yeah, the sensitive throttle pedal it seems. Driver going on and off throttle, but on the second loop it does look better. 5.2, significant improvement, half a second on the previous right-hander. And will the left be even quicker? No, similar time, so it gives him to a 5.24. That is, wow, half a second improvement in the second Skidpad.
Also one of the few cars that the right-hand side is faster than the left-hand side. I think there were only two cars until now that showed this kind of result.
Yeah, speaking of tire temperature, you just brought it up. I feel it cooling down slightly. I would have bet money on the fact that this tarmac, which was so roasting hot most of the day today, would stay warmer a lot longer. Now we have on track Tallinn. They really put a lot of blue on their car. That's pretty cool. Man, they have underglow and under the rear wing.
Wow.
The rear wing plates.
Sorry to interrupt you, Jonas, but the 4.9 is extremely quick on the first right-hander. Maybe one of the quickest. They do collect a few cones.
That's at least two that I saw there already.
But a 4.88, that is one of the quickest times we've seen. I think Esslingen did 4.87 if I recall correctly, so they are definitely up there. Of course, they need to avoid the cones a bit, but this could be very quick.
Yeah, if they can keep it clean, I would expect this also to be towards the 4.80, something like that. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, and it is because of the lights, I think. It just gives you a little bit more tire heating, a little bit more visibility.
For sure, they have the style bonus in this competition because it's just an amazing livery, isn't it?
Not sure what we are waiting for. A small rebuild of the track. Of course, they hit a few cones, and yeah, because we have also these lights on top, it does take just a bit longer than usual to rebuild everything. But that's fine. Go again for their second run, and will it be quicker? I think it's going to be hard to beat. My cone, unfortunately, it is a bit slower. 4.97 on the right.
Another cone as well on the inside.
No, it is slower, 4.96. Maybe the driver was told to take it a little bit more cautious, but unfortunately still clipped a few cones.
Yeah, 0.2 seconds per cone in this tight of a field is really going to ruin your chances at scoring close to the top. I just counted, we have 16 cars that can still, based on their scrutineering status, show up here. If I cast my eyes into the queue, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11 cars, 12 counting the one that is lurking at the entrance. So yeah, within the span of a couple of minutes, spinning out there. Number 14 from Budapest. Yeah, that's at least 2 cones where the light came off, and a couple more across the starting line. That's too bad. The time looked decent, 5.13, but yeah, there's more cones now getting knocked over with what he was carrying, and now he lost track completely of the track with so many lights all across the place.
Yeah, they will need some time to rebuild the track because it was a bit of a carnage out there. So we see the marshals running from all over the place.
Is he still carrying one of the lights with him?
Yeah, I think under the rear wing indeed. He still has at least the light itself, maybe the cone.
Which looks good, but I think the marshals would like to see their lights back.
Yeah, I think for the decoration, you might as well just ask the organizers for some spare lighting.
And the driver, by the way, of this BME car is Sanat Ari. I probably butchered the name, apologies. But he's gonna get a second run in. Hopefully he can keep it clean this time. A pretty light car as well, 178 kilograms. We actually looked it up during dinner. The lightest car around here is 160 or 158.
158 indeed.
From a Ren team. So yeah, I think in general all the cars are relatively light, you know. Good job by them.
Still being held at the starting position. I think we're still looking for 140 light based on the chatter on the officials channel.
Yeah, sometimes if the cones get hit and the lights get hit, they change color. So then they have to reset to the proper color. I've seen it a few times now. Yeah, it's a shame if you hit cones, you kind of get penalized a little bit. You have to wait a bit longer, tires cool down again. So not a valid strategy in this case. Off they go. Still carrying the light, so I'm wondering if it is actually a light from competition or one they brought their own.
That's the one they were looking for, but not an improvement on the right-hand side for them. Left hand, though, pushes the overall average to a personal best for them, 5.14.
Yeah, very decent. Everything around 5 seconds is an extremely good lap time. If you can go below it, then you're in the top teams. But only a few manage to breach the 5-second mark.
Yeah, and if you can come within 2/10, that again is the span still across the top 10 teams. That's crazy. And only 10 points difference between first position and 10th. Really tight field.
And now we wait a little bit. There's no new car prepared. There are 2 cars that are charged, which you can see from the T-cell light, but they're not moving towards the beginning of the Skidpad yet. Maybe they are still trying to fetch all their lights from the car from Budapest, or they're just having a small water break, also possible. But yeah, still quite a few cars ready. I think we might wrap it up with Zurich. Might be our very last car for this event.
Yeah, by Mickey's count, there's 15 cars in the queue now. I think last I counted, there's 16 that we need to have driving. So Zurich might literally be the last one.
Which will be pretty exciting because it's not a slow car, so they do have the ability to break it. And then we'll see, you know, track progression, if it progressed or not. Then we'll get a clear view. We had the first car Aachen, last car Zurich. So good comparison.
Maybe it's alphabetical. Aachen was first, Zurich is last.
How
that would be
poetic.
interesting.
Oh my god.
So there was a running order after all. Would have been good, honestly, to see which car is coming, to have the running order. All jokes aside, next car is coming, 154, I can see. I do not know by heart which one that is.
I think that's Barcelona, based on the white livery. That's also one of the two-faced cars. They have a white side and a blue side. If it is indeed them,
I didn't know they had two sides. Okay.
Confused the hell out of me, a driverless, gotta be
yeah,
honest.
You're right. And this driver is called Nacho Valles. His nickname is Nachi Laura. And he's going quick. It's a very quick 5.44. Okay, I had a feeling it was quicker. Definitely pushing the car. But it is a decent first attempt for sure.
Yeah, good that the timekeeping here isn't based on vibes like Matti's feeling.
At the beginning I was pretty close, but yeah, I'm losing it.
I mean, it is basically past our bedtime already. Oh, and I think we have the last runner now in the queue. Indeed, Chalmers has been lurking in the dynamic area for a little bit before they joined. And I really think we should do the recount again, but I'm pretty sure Chalmers is just the last car that can even at all run based on this generic status.
Looks like they did alphabetical order in Dutch, Sweden, Z. Again, I have the feeling they're going pretty quick with Barcelona. They did improve, 2/10 even, so maybe this is a sub-5 left-hander. Yeah, oh, wow, where did that came from? 4.88 on the left, so there's a 4/10 delta, giving them a 5.05. Oh, that could have been a sub-5 if he just got a little bit better on the right-hand side.
Yeah, even sub-5, there is still a little bit of breathing room once you enter the sub-5 to really be on the competitive side. I think, yeah, Mickey is trying to figure out where our last runner is, because I count 15 cars in the list of cars that can still go, and there's only 14 here.
Hanover, meanwhile, also very colorful car. You can't quite see it now in the dark, but I've seen him appear a few times. 5.5, decent first run. Driver is struggling a little bit with the throttle, it feels like.
Could also be intentional. I think he did try the little blip trick over the timing line.
And the driver is Norik Wagner. And interesting, the left was slower than the right, but I do feel the driver made a few mistakes there, or indeed tried to explore some new techniques or tried to warm the tires a bit. He's also now doing a little bit of braking and throttling, just a little bit.
Yeah, so if there's any design advice that we can give the teams so far that we spotted here is make your throttle pedals stiffer, because yeah, they've been oscillating up and down here quite a lot so far tonight. Second run for Hannover. Yeah, indeed, you can hear it sort of stuttering, oscillating up and down. That could be the driver's foot weighing too heavy. 5.23, improvement on the right-hand side. And an overall improvement to a 5.26. I think now we need to investigate how tight it is below the top 10, because yeah, we've seen so many low 5-something times. This is a really tight field.
Yeah, indeed, and again a 4/10 improvement between the first and the second run. That's stuff we didn't see in previous years where we had a day Skidpad. Improvements weren't as big. So I really wonder, is it due to the colder temperatures or drivers getting used to the situation? A mystery that will remain unsolved.
Hey, it could be a thing where your eyes get more used to the dark the longer you're in it. Who knows?
This is Ghent indeed, Belgian team. I think, no, they did a few attempts on the driverless as well. Not sure if they had a successful one, but so far this is looking clean, steady. Sub 6, that's good. 5.8, good benchmark, or banker lap, I should say, for the first run. Let's see how much they can shave off now.
Yeah, the driverless word there triggered me a little bit. I don't think they ended up setting a valid run there.
We saw them appear quite a few times on the acceleration, but never quite got it going. I think it's probably a similar story to Autocross and Skidpad. But yeah, unfortunately we've seen that with other teams as well. Luckily they do have a time on the board now with the manual Skidpad. We'll definitely give them some points. And will the driver push a bit harder now? I feel like, yeah, that's a bit quicker. But the times won't lie. Yes, it is. 3/10 quicker, 5.6 on the right. And let's hope for them the left is quicker than the right. 1/10 quicker, so it brings him to a 5.57 overall. Pretty good.
Yeah, I think having improved, this driver can go gentle into that good night.
And we have a colorful lighted car again.
This looks like a Christmas tree to me. Yeah, that sounds and looks like all the world like Berlin to me. The Skidpad Christmas tree in action. Right hand side, decent time for a first run. Does this look fast, Matti?
Not the fastest, but it is smooth. And smooth is often good in Skidpad. And it also kind of shows to me that there's more in there. So good banker lap, and then the driver can push a bit more. But interestingly, a quicker right hand side than left hand side. So they're one of the 3 teams now, or 4, where this is the case.
Right then, Berlin managed to improve slightly. 5.3 overall, 1.5 tenths faster. And definitely the award for the fastest Christmas tree of the night.
I'm gonna make a guess that this is Hamburg, just by the looks of it on the front. I think I'm correct. And the driver is Vadim. Apparently he's really good at burning through rubber on a Skidpad, so let's see if he can replicate that now. Mostly burning cones at this point.
There's at least 2 there. I think the third one is knocked over. He manages to find his path though.
But yeah, definitely an aggressive driver, trying to get some heat in the tires, sliding around a bit. I hope this is not his tactic for the next run, but we'll see. And again, some lights changed color on hit So also those they have to reset properly, but I think by now the marshals got the hang of it.
Right, while we're getting distracted, marveling over the potential number of cars left to run, Hamburg set off on their second attempt of the night. Definitely an improvement on the right-hand side for them. Tires go the entire way through the left-hand side as well, and an overall improvement, 2/10. That makes a difference in the point score at the end. Right then, for the first time this year in the dynamic area, I think, Nürnberg.
Indeed, I have not seen them yet, I think.
No driverless on this car. 5.2.
Strom und Söhne, EV.
508. Hey, that was tantalizingly close. This bodes well for the second attempt.
Yeah, indeed. 5.14 in on average is an extremely good first lap time. Typically, everyone shaves off 2/10, so that would mean they could get below the 5-second mark. I hope I didn't jinx it now. Off they go. Looks quite similar to the first one. No, he does accelerate. Well, car is quite planted, to be honest. This looks very good. 5.01, so a 2/10 improvement on the right-hand side. Ooh, it's going to be exciting, this one. And a 4.8, wow. And a 4.9, well below the 5-second mark. They build a quick car. Congratulations to Nuremberg, and we have another colorful car. It is the 7-3 car from...
This puts Nürnberg in the 7th position overall, by the way, in Skidpad time so far.
And that's a car from Düsseldorf, I think, which is also making its first appearance of the day and at FSG. A bit slow, also very sensitive throttle pedal, it seems. But getting around.
Yeah, this seems like really binary throttle input, sort of just coasting down a little bit, giving it some more speed. He's collected 2 cones on the left-hand side there, 2 more just across the timing line. So yeah, let's
and then forgets to do the second left lap. I think he missed one, but he's probably too busy debugging the throttle pedal. And that's the thing with these cars, if you drive just a bit too slow, and when you avoid the cone with your front tire, you actually clip it with the rear, something that we often see in the switch from right to left on a skid pad.
But if I recall correctly, this is actually the first run of the night that we've had where they missed a lap. Not because of taking the wrong exit, but just counting wrong.
Yeah, indeed. We had about 3 or 4 cars that did not install Waze properly and misnavigated, but indeed this one forgot to count. Ooh, is that Vallis?
That's a very pink and purple car coming up to the starting line now, indeed.
So Düsseldorf is at the back there. They should get a second run in. But we'll first get another car. Car 1-3, I'm hearing. My guess would be that's Wallis. Nope, I'm wrong. Oh no, I am. Valais. Oh, Wallis Valais racing team.
And this is where it gets difficult for us when the university name, the team name, and what you usually refer to the team as are all three different things.
Also a bit binary throttle inputs. Can be two things, I think. Either indeed too sensitive throttle pedal or delays. You know, when you go on throttle, it doesn't quite happen, and then a bit later actually something happens. 6.4. Again, big difference between right and left. It did feel like the driver was struggling a bit to get the car under control. Definitely more in there. But will they be able to get it out?
Getting out is Düsseldorf. I think they elected not to go for their second run. I just saw their red lights being at least pushed towards the exit gate. So maybe they will just put a bit of a dent in our theory of being done here pretty soon with all the runs. We might see them back a bit later in the dynamics again.
Indeed, I think they're the first one not to do the second run immediately. Interesting. Car number 4-4, which is Ulm Einstein Motorsport. They often build a very quick car. It looks neat, had a little bit of a slide there in the middle section. I also hear some funny noises, but yeah, what could that noise be,
Grinding
Jonas?
drivetrain, brake discs, who knows? It's,
maybe just tires. Yeah, it was only when the car was pointing at us that we could hear it.
It sounded quite mechanical, to be honest. I'm not sure if that was all tire related. But also the car 13, one of the breaking the trend of immediately going for a rerun. It looks like they're stuck at the exit, discharged, or just intentionally want to come back later when it's well, much cooler, I guess. I'm not sure what kind of strategy would drive you to drive later, to be honest. We had much debate about that earlier. Not sure what you think about it.
Yeah, both Düsseldorf and Wallis, car from Sion, had some throttle issues, so maybe they want to resolve that first and then do their second. I think, oh, you jinxed it, Jonas. Ulm is now the second driver doing only one lap, you know, miscounting the laps.
Yeah, I'm not accepting the commentator's curse blame on that one, though. That was ample time between me saying that.
At least he's consistent. He did one lap right, one lap left. But I think there was a problem with the car because he was going very slowly.
Yeah, I think now everybody, including the driver, is a little bit confused what just happened there. Either way, we have a new contender lining up.
I think it's 77, DHBW, Stuttgart. They did make some appearances already on acceleration, skidpad and autocross driverless. This is their first manual. We know they make quick cars. So can they get into the sub-5 and compete for the top 10 or top 5 positions?
Yeah, driverless, they were struggling to convert the theoretical potential a bit. 5.38 is not a bad start for Skidpad, though.
And this driver is Julian Flink, who is the slayer of the upper side wing. Let's hope that he doesn't do that again here on the Skidpad, but it looked very clean. It was, well, 5.2 or 5.3 if we round it off correctly. Not the best, but there is potential to go sub-5 if he gets it all wired up correctly. Oh no, what? Driver super, he's egressing even, so must indicate an IMD or AMS error probably. car started and immediately discharged. Driver pretty angry, doing an egress.
Yeah, that's usually not something that you want to see, especially not as a team member. Different drivers have different preferences of jumping out. Of course, if there's something visibly wrong, smoke pouring out the bottom or the like, this is the way to go. Judging by the car being touched by the officials, I'm not sure. Hard to see in the dark what exactly is going on. Somebody is investigating, nevertheless.
Yeah, so now we have to wait a little bit for, I think, first the Stuttgart car to be cleared, you know, to be declared safe, and then they will clear it. They also had a bit of a funny situation on driverless acceleration, where also the car got to a halt really weirdly, and they also had to investigate a little bit what happened. So maybe this is a similar problem. Luckily for the time, for the cars in the queue, I think it should be plenty of time for all of them to run. And definitely some cool cars coming up, some really cool neon lights. I see one where actually the lights are moving, but that's going to be for in 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, now that you mention it, I actually recall also an incident on the driverless Skidpad where Stuttgart got going, jerked forward, and then discharged and invalidated their run that way. So yeah, it seems like there are some gremlins in that car still that will hopefully be resolved pretty soon. But the driver is getting back in, so at least they can get out of the awkward spot of right on the timing line for the sake of having the other cars have a kick at the can as well.
Yeah, and at least they have A time on the board, so they will get some decent points. Of course, their ambition was probably to go a little bit quicker, but you can never predict if you have any issues on the way. I think the second car that will make its way to the track looks like a really colorful one. Again, I'll maybe already have a look which car it is. And this is TU Fast, Jonas, and they are going quick. Very quick first ride, at least visually. A 5.0, that's solid. Driver still sliding and finding its way on the grip, but looking very neat. And we'll have a very, very exciting few minutes, because now we have Munich. Behind them is Hawks Racing. Then we have Zurich, then we have Chalmers, and then we have Rennteam Stuttgart. So we might see some really good times now. And for Munich already going 4.96 sub 5 on the first run, promising.
Yeah. This is very promising, Matthias, because we know Munich always quick on the acceleration, but also on the Skidpad. So if history serves us right, we should see quite a quick time. Not sure whether they will be able to beat the 4.80, but you never know.
Yeah, they're quick, but the driver is going on and off the throttle. Never mind, I take that back. It's a 4.76 on the right-hand side, which tends to be the slower end. Whoa, 4.59 on the left. Again, left being 2/10 quicker than the right, and an average time of 4.68.
That's a big gap, 1200ths of a second.
Indeed.
To the next one, 480 to 468. That was impressive.
Wow. And now comes Hawks Racing with some really cool lighting on the car as well. Can they convert it into speed on the skid pad as well? Oof, quite some wheel spin. Not sure if it was on the front or the rear. Driver is struggling to get the torque on the roads. Luckily, once the lap that mattered was pretty good. It's a 5.6. On the right-hand side, can they go quicker on the left? Really cool that the lights are changing, by the way. That's a 5.56 for Hamburg. But wow, Munich, that was fast. It always looks so planted.
Yeah, but still very aggressive. It wasn't steady state at all. But it was the driver was pushing and pushing and pushing, but the car was just staying inside the lane. It was very nice to look at.
And I wonder, is this only rear-wheel drive, or do they also have front-wheel drive? By the sound of it, I do have a feeling it's only rear-wheel drive, but I'm not 100% sure. We would need to check it out. It is definitely an improvement. Again, 2/10 off, giving him a 5.34. An equal right and left-hand time. Interesting. And the driver from TU Fast, we forgot to mention it, but it's Mark Haley, who is the current holder of the best Skidpad time so far.
Well, we thought that the 4.80 would be tough to beat, but the 4.68, that's a different ball game for sure.
But let's keep an eye on this, because this is Zurich, and we know that they can be quick. We've already seen them be quick on the driverless. Can they also get the quick driver? Yes, lap 5.09. Again, very decent first lap. We've seen big improvements in the second lap. So they are up there, but they still have to prove themselves a bit. Good left-hand time, 4.84. That might be one of the best first left-handers we've seen so far.
Yeah, exactly the same first attempt as TU Fast. So let's see if they can improve by an equal margin on their second run.
Yeah, and I have good news, Igor. This driver, his nickname is the Italian Rocket, Mattia Capella. So let's see if he can convert that rocket into a fast skid-pad lap time. We are waiting just a little bit. Not sure if there's track to need to be rebuilt. No, all good. Will they be able to beat the TU Fast time? Definitely more ambitious by the driver now. It looks good. It looks smooth. That often means it's fast. 4.82, just a little bit slower than TU Fast, but there is potential. It was mostly on the left-hand side that TU Fast did it. 4.69, giving them a 4.75. So slightly slower, but it is the second best time of the day. So a really good job by them. And that is Chalmers, a car from Sweden, who also did very well on the driverless segment. I'm very curious to see how quick the car is in the hands of a driver. Right, Chalmers off the line. Cautious approach by the driver. Doesn't look as quick as we've seen from their competitors. Oh, no. Again, the same mistake, taking the quick exit into the exit of the left turn, kind of. At least this driver decides to actually do the whole loop and finds its way back to the exit. But that is a shame, because this run will not count.
Indeed, same issue as the driver from Romania, from Cluj-Napoca. Let's see if on the second attempt they will.
There were indeed two more that did exactly the same thing. There must be something funky that confuses some of the driver. And this driver is Jacob Torren. So let's all do fingers crossed that he can do a decent second run. Or are they exiting? Could also be the case. Renteam Stuttgart making its way for their Skidpad attempt. They're also typically pretty good, I would say, in events like Skidpad, so I expect them to deliver a really decent time for us.
Already looking quick on the first right-hander.
Yeah, also on the throttle, very sensitive. We've seen it with other cars as well. It's not looking as quick as Zurich and Too Fast, but definitely not bad either. 5.3, okay. They will need to improve quite a bit to be up there.
No, I'm sure they themselves were hoping for a sub 5 second time, definitely. But maybe the driver was just being conservative. You know, dark conditions, not something that many of the drivers here have any experience with. So perhaps a safe banker lap, and now we may see a bit more potential unleashed.
And some of the teams go really slow over the first bump because it's quite steep, can scratch the wing. But then, of course, they go full throttle. Yeah, struggling with the throttle, really going on and off. Shame.
Is that the driver going on and off, or could it be some, some sort of traction control?
Could also be in the traction control or the torque factoring, doing some funky business. I don't have the feeling it's really helping them. It is an improvement, 3/10 off, and that's a 5.03. Just not part of the sub-5 club.
Well, I mean, on the left-hander, they did go 4.92, so the performance was definitely there to go below 5 seconds. So indeed, either the driver struggling with something, or maybe something unexpected in terms of how the car is performing. Not quite where they probably would have hoped to be, but still a very, very respectable time.
Another colorful car making its way. I think this is from Terrassa, if I say that correctly. I have not seen them yet, I think, on the dynamics here. So this might be their first appearance. Also slowly over the first bump, and then let's hope they can find some speed now.
Yeah, I think the driver just getting a little bit acquainted. You can hear the car speeding up as they go through the second right-hand loop. Oh, and once again, driver confused by the transition. And a bit of a scratch on the bump there. Of course, a very bumpy parking area here at FSG infield. Let's see if they decide to go for their second run immediately, or if, like Chalmers, they'll take a second to regroup first.
Yeah, some drivers manage to recollect themselves and do a proper run, some don't. Looks like he is going to attempt once more. It says the Skidpad driver is called ASB. I do feel like that's one of the driver in the system, so maybe that's a bit of a joke. But the team from Terrassa, UPC Eco Racing, is going for it again.
Slowing down a bit on the second loop. Doing the transition correctly this time. Picking up pace, but then coming off the throttle a bit. We're still improving much quicker than the right-hand loop, a 6.42 overall. Good time.
Yeah, unfortunately clipping a cone at the exit, but I think it will just only be insult to injury. Not the best time so far. But yeah, driver made a mistake in the first run. Luckily, got it all together in the second one. And I think this is the car from Defaults, with some really cool lighting on the front.
Yeah, nothing default about the lights on that car.
We've seen this car before now, like with the lights on the wing.
No, there was another one with lights.
Wroclaw had a...
Yeah, that's right. But they did the 2 runs, right? So,
Yes,
yeah. So this is a new car then.
A lot of wheel spin on the front, and unfortunately, driver thought it was acceleration, so they chose the wrong driver. Driver just went straight with a lot of wheel spin, and that will unfortunately be a DNF for the first run. Luckily, they do have a second one. We had some really good drivers at the beginning, making very little to no mistakes, and then now it seems like we get a batch of some drivers making some mistakes. Maybe the track changed a bit. Maybe it's a little bit more confusing.
I think that the drivers are just a little bit sleepy by now, Matthias. They just want to go to bed, and the quickest route is just a short one. So this must be it. Let's see what happens now.
Okay, driver does find the entry to the right-hand loop on the second go. Feels a little bit even more tentatively on the second go. And once again, one more driver not navigating the transition to the left-hander successfully. It really must be something about the lights, the way they're set up there, that really deceiving. But
yeah, it's very difficult to see where you are on the circle, right? Because normally you would have two big cones in the middle. You know, where the light starts and where your timing starts as well. So usually that's your reference point. But now it looks like 2 cones close to each other, not big ones. So I can imagine it's confusing a little bit. But it's always the same on the same spot. So if you're not used to it driving in blindfolded even, then it's understandable you can make a mistake like this.
There's a very dark car making its way now, and also the T-cell is less bright than of some other cars. I cannot quite... Is it the car from Navarra? That would be my guess, but might be wrong.
I couldn't quite make out the car, but we'll see now on the time.
Or is it Singhao?
9-0, that would be Milan. Song's front wing, but still looking pretty spry.
They had an incident on the driverless acceleration, spectacularly hit the final cones, and unfortunately it wrecked their front wing. But I have to say, this car without a front wing is still pretty quick. It's a 5.4 on the first attempt, so yeah, really good job by the driver getting it all together and delivering a pretty good lap time.
I think we were saying before how after Chalmers there might not be too much action left. I think that might have been a little bit premature. As usual, as is Formula Student Germany tradition, more and more cars joining the queue, even now at 11 p.m. Not quite, but nearly there. So still plenty of action to come.
Off they go again. Is the car from Milano, and the driver definitely trying to push more. And I do feel like the balance of the car is still quite okay. I would expect it to be way more understeered, but they're really managing well. So either the driver is doing something magic, or their torque factoring is really good, but very decent time. 5.14 without a front wing, imagine. Wow. Yeah, congrats to them after the disappointment of losing their front wing on driverless acceleration. They can be very happy with it, and hopefully we can see them again with a front wing, but I'm not sure if that's feasible.
Yeah, unlike Formula 1 teams, I don't think they have a lot of front wings lying around. They can just swap it out, so probably that's something that they have to either fix or make new, but I'm not sure whether one night that will be enough.
It's an aggressive start by the team from Constance, quite a lot of wheel spin off the line.
Yeah, and they had this really cool eyes where the light also sometimes changes. I cannot figure out, to me it looks white the whole time, and then suddenly it turns red. Not sure what the logic is, but it looks really, really cool. This is also one of the cars that actually did their 2 runs separately. So there was one that we forgot about. Nice run, improvement from them, 5.37, and that is also their final run for Skidpad.
Yeah, it looks like we have a drone as well flying up, taking some cool shots for the video team. I'm not sure. Yeah, I can see the guy flying the drone. So this should have some spectacular shots for the after movie event. Always nice to see the drone in action and flying along the track and filming above the cars, especially with the lights. That should be spectacular footage.
Indeed, and the car it's filming now is car number 111 from Thessaloniki, Aristotle University. There's a just sub-6 on the right-hander and a bit of an improvement, 5.8 on the left-hander for 5.9 overall. And it did seem like there was a bit of performance still left out on the track, so I'm sure the driver will be hoping to maximize that on their second attempt.
Yeah, as we've seen with other teams as well, sometimes the drivers really like fighting the car a little bit, trying to find the balance or trying to find some heat in the tires, and then often the second run is where it all comes together. Yeah, the marshals were looking for something that was rolling off the car, or maybe from one of the cones or something. Something was rolling away. They have not found it, I think, so hopefully it was not an essential component.
No, and I think they were mostly checking the track to make sure there's nothing there for the cars to bump into. So that seems to be all good. This is car number 114 from San Sebastián, one of the Spanish teams.
As you just said, they actually cut in the middle of the track, lost their way, and then the driver's now trying to find its way back. So this is again a driver who did not quite find the switch. And what I find very particular about, it's doing its laps again, it's quite dangerous because the marshals were not quite aware of that happening. But it's a super silent car.
Yeah, indeed.
Silent killer.
Yes, it seems the driver from San Sebastián will, let's see, will they go back for their second attempt? No, not yet.
There is still quite a bit of time, an hour and 15 minutes left. Although I also wouldn't mind going to bed, to be honest. But we still have a few cars that need to make their way to Skidpad. I also saw Eindhoven was pushed away again from the queue. I'm not sure if they're in the queue now, so they're back. Also the team from Vallis, who was struggling a little bit with the throttle pedal, is also coming back now. A new car is being signaled to make its way to the starting area. What car is that? Igor, can you already see it from a distance?
Not quite. It does have some striking
I think it's
strips along the wings.
82, I think, if I saw it correctly. I do not know which car that is.
Yeah, my night vision is not quite the same as it used to be. So I'll wait for them to cross the timing beacon. That is San Sebastián again.
No, I think
the timing is still a little bit off. There we go, Regensburg, 62. 5.8 on the right-hander, slowing down a little bit on the left side.
They did a really nice drift on their first left. It's a shame that the driver couldn't keep the drift and do it all the way around.
But they do still manage to improve on the left-hand side, so 5.8 overall. Good banker lap. And I'm sure the driver will know now where they can squeeze out a little bit more performance.
Also nice that they added some cool red lighting on their end plates and also on their side pods, I think.
Yeah, and I think along the leading edge of the front wing.
Oh yeah, didn't spot it yet, thank you. Looks really cool. Off they go for the second attempt. Can they improve? It looks like a fun car to drive. It's a bit tail happy on throttle. Not sure if it's the fastest, but definitely the most fun. And yeah, they also improved 3/10 on the right-hand side. Can they do the same improvement on the left? Although struggling with the throttle, we've seen it with so many teams now. But they do improve, also 3/10, so that gives them 5.49. Good job by Regensburg. 241, that is 240, sorry, is Eindhoven.
Indeed. They had left the queue for a little bit of time. Now they're back. I think also one of the teams that would be definitely hoping to end up in the sub 5 second range.
And guys, I'm only seeing 3 more cars after Eindhoven in the queue. So the number of cars is drying up, which I don't mind because it's already 11:15. But after this, we still have over an hour left in this competition. Looking at Eindhoven, 5.33 in the first lap. They used to be quite good, and I was just about to say they used to be quite good in Skidpad, but it looks like this driver collected a couple of cones.
Yeah, they went
quite loudly as well.
I think it might have been that loud because those were the start-finish line cones, and I'm not sure if there's any timing equipment there that seems to be affected. I don't think so.
And this driver is Wimpy. Apparently his actual name is Matthijs. And guess what the reserve driver is called?
Also Matthijs?
Also Matthijs, indeed. Just a quick clarification. So this event goes on until 12 o'clock. So we still have more than an hour left, an hour and 10 minutes. Some people understood that we said only 15. That is not true. It is until 12, so we still have quite some time here together. But the queue is drying up, so we'll have to...
Jonas was investigating the queue just now, and there are 6 cars that will still be expecting to do either their first or second run. Meanwhile, Eindhoven does set off on their second attempt. They had a 5.26 on their first try. So we have seen quite a few drivers shave off 3/10. Let's see if Eindhoven can do that as well.
Yeah, definitely on the right-hand side, 5.03. So this might be a sub 5 because the left is often quicker.
And there it is, 5 seconds on the dot. Very good time from Eindhoven.
Makes it easy to remember, 5:00. I do feel there was a little bit more in there on the left-hand side. The car did seem to be very sensitive on the throttle pedal, but yeah, definitely good time by them.
Okay, I'm hearing some loud cheers, from which I'm going to deduce that it is a Mediterranean team coming up. I'm not sure which one, but it might be 218 from Sevilla. And indeed it is. Looks like the driver might not be pushing it quite to the maximum just yet.
No, in the first right-hander he tried a bit, but the car seemed to respond not so well to it. So I think he just decided to do a first banker, do it smooth and steady, and then hopefully they can push a bit more, but it's a very decent first time, 5.67 for Sevilla. And the singing continues. So yeah, makes it easy for us to indeed distinguish which team it is. Seem to be very happy with this first lap time from this driver.
So let's see. We know that shaving off 3/10 is a realistic margin. What do you think, Matti? Will this driver achieve it?
Yes, driver is called Correa, and I'm confident that he will shave off at least 2/10. And this does already look quicker.
Oh, but a bit of a slide on the second time lap. That will cost them a bit of time, but indeed an improvement of 4/10 on the right side.
And Wow, what a difference. First lap was really a banker, really getting it in, and then now he's absolutely smashing it, improving with 3/10, just like you said, Igor, to a 5.3.
How happy the team is with those results, chanting the name of the driver. Very happy with their performance. Let's see, who do we have up next? I see a couple of flashing T-cells. I can't quite make out what the numbers are on the cars.
I think this is Chalmers again. I think they misnavigated on their first attempt, and then the driver maybe cleverly exited the queue, not to do their second round immediately, just to get a little debrief what might have gone wrong. So let's hope he can bring it home safely now, and hopefully also in a decent time.
Yeah, Nelson just saw the car number 68 from Tsinghua being pushed to the back of the queue. Meanwhile, Chalmers, let's see the transition. As the driver tentative, but gets it right this time around.
Only a 5.6 though. I do feel like they are a bit quicker than that. Of course, they only have one run, so it has to be good. That's a 5.58.
Yeah, so if we apply the rule of 3/10, we might have expected to see them in the 5.2, maybe even the 5.1 range. So indeed, unfortunately, with only one run, they couldn't quite push it to the maximum, but still an all right time. And now we have, is that Vallis Wallace returning for their attempt at number 2.
Yeah, and also they decided to indeed split the runs. Actually, I think they did a valid first run, but the driver was struggling a bit with the throttle. I'm not 100% sure though. And yeah, it does look like a lot of wheel spin on the front wheels, so that will definitely give them a bit of understeer. That's seems like a car that's tough to handle, but 6.01 on the right-hand side.
That's an improvement.
Can the driver improve a bit? Yeah, now I'm starting to think that actually they're also misnavigated on the first run. 5.85.
An all right time, and you can hear the team is very happy with it. So, congratulations, Vallis. I think they're also maybe chanting the name of the driver.
But they have not filled in the commentary form, so we do not know who the driver is. I think the driver is trying to get a second run in. I thought they had, yeah, this was their second run. The first one was a 6.4. This was a 5.8, so they did improve, which is also nice. Maybe something happened on the first, or the driver just made a mistake now.
Yeah, we definitely saw them run earlier, so this was definitely their second run. Maybe they think they have 4 runs like in the good old days with 2 drivers, but pretty sure this was their second run.
Yeah, or maybe they didn't do a driverless Skidpad and think they can trade one in. Unfortunately, it does not work that way. Would have been cool though, a bit more Skidpad runs. Yeah, have to do a U-turn and go back to the exit, so not sure. Some miscommunication there between the driver and the team possibly. He did try his best to get a third run in, but unfortunately, the rules are the rules.
It was worth a shot.
Is that Tsinghua?
I think, yes, it might be Tsinghua.
They have been in the queue a few times, but they seem to really like the queue because they often do it 3 times for some reason. But still plenty of time for them now. And I actually remember they were very good at Skidpad last year, surprisingly good. I also spoke to them this morning, and they said that Skidpad was their best discipline. So maybe they're just taking their time, finding the exact right spot. And then hopefully they can surprise us again with an extremely good lap time.
Yeah, see, there's 2 cars in the queue. One, Jonas tells me, car number 149 is Erlangen, and the one with the active tractive system, I think that is not Cinco. I'm not sure if I see the number 68. We'll see at the start line. I think for next year, if this continues, we need to get some night vision goggles of our own.
Fluorescent car numbers or something, yeah? Or some lights, which you have also on your regular car, right? Which illuminates your license plate.
Yeah, I mean, all these nice LED strips that a lot of teams have, maybe, you know, do the outline of the car number, would make our job quite a bit easier.
So this might be the second run from San Sebastian. Uni Navarra, this was also the car that misnavigated and then did the 2 lefts for fun.
It's extremely quiet.
Yeah, a silent killer.
I think it's definitely between this and Athens for the quietest car we've heard so far, or haven't heard.
Ooh, some sliding of the rear wheels coming out of the left-hander. And it is a 5.5 for them. And this is also their final run.
And there is Tsinghua University joining the back of the queue once again. So we do now see 1, 2, 3, 4 cars in the queue. So it's definitely slowing down, but still cars trickling in slowly but surely. Just over an hour to go. In fact, exactly 1 hour to go.
And I think this is the car from Erlangen, which we have not seen yet. High voltage motorsport. Unfortunately, they have also not filled in the commentary form, so we don't know who's driving. Maybe the team can give a shout to tell us who it is. And I think this is also their first appearance on the Dynamics, because they did not participate in the driverless. Make a lot of assumptions though. They have a very sensitive throttle pedal. It's on-off, not sure what setting this is, but it seems horrible to drive.
This definitely seems the setting is on. It almost feels like the front motors are turning on intermittently.
Yeah, this is, I mean, honestly, it's not even on the driver. It's extremely difficult to get this car. Even just rolling at the exit is already a challenge. So they will need to do some recalibration of the pedals, I feel like.
It's a 6.65 on the first attempt. I think in the double digits for the number of codes taken out. So as far as the cider lap goes, not a super valid time, but hopefully some experience for the driver and some feedback you can give to the rest of the team on how to get the car set up better for the second attempt, which they choose not to do just yet, quite understandably.
So while the marshals managed to already rebuild the track, we are waiting for the next car to make its way. There are a few cars that are doing the pre-checks. Maybe I'll have a closer look who they are all gathering together there. Looks very cozy, so I want to be part of that. Actually, there are 4 cars waiting. One was a little bit hidden. There's the car from, is it Aristoteles? From Basque country, Tsinghua, and Athens. So we will be expecting those cars in the coming 10 minutes, I think. And already Aristoteles is making its way to the start of the Skidpad. And I think one of you mentioned that this is also a very silent car. I'm curious to see and hear it.
The car from Athens is very silent.
Okay. That one is also coming. It's one of the next cars, hopefully.
Yes, there's a bit of a Greek contingent in the queue indeed. You have Thessaloniki and Athens together. But nobody on their way to the start line just yet. I see one car does have the attractive system active. I believe that would be car number 111 from Aristotle University.
Yeah, and they are coming in for their second run because they already had a first run. It was a 5.9. Yeah, it was a pretty good run, but there is room for improvement. Let's see when they will be sent to the start of the Skidpad. Still 55 minutes left in the session. Not so many cars that still need to come here. I think we had almost all of them that also went through scrutineering. And then maybe also a few of them that are still waiting to do their second run. So very curious to see when they will make an appearance.
Yeah, see, there have been a total of 85 runs so far. So that would mean the majority of them did do their second run immediately. So that's probably a little bit more than 40, maybe 45, 47, somewhere in that range. Cars that have attempted at least one run, and we saw that around 60 have made it through the manual brake test at the very least. So probably still around 10 cars that we would hope to see.
Yeah, so 60 cars passed, so that would mean we would expect 120 runs. We had 85, you mentioned. So that is 35 left. So that is indeed 10 teams and a few, second runs-ish.
So we have 111 Aristotle setting off. Driver pushing a bit more on the timed right-hander, but not quite managing to improve. Let's see if they can on the left-hand side. Bit of a wiggle there at the end. Bit of a power slide, hitting the brakes. As unfortunately not quite able to improve, a 6.08 on the second attempt, but it was a clean run. I don't remember if they touched any cones on their first attempt, so it could still be an improvement overall.
Yeah, and I just quickly checked. We actually had 98 runs so far, so we will need 22 runs after this.
So somewhere in the area of 8 teams, maybe 8 to 10.
Yeah, and a few reruns. Or reruns, I mean second run. We will use the term rerun later on in the other quiz. Is this a car from Athens? Oh yeah, indeed. Oh no, I'm wrong. car from Basque country,
Yeah,
Bilbao.
Bilbao.
Formula student Vizcaya.
And just as you say that, once more, another one of the drivers mistaking the left-hand switch, the exit of it for the entry. I think the other car from Basque Country, the car from San Sebastian, also had the same issue on their first run. So yeah, a bit of an unfortunate coincidence there.
Also coming to a halt now on the exit. The car is discharged even, indicating to me that there's some problem. Let's hope that the driver can just restart. Yes, it looks like he can. And then I would be curious, will he do a second run immediately or do a little debrief first? There is still some time, 52 minutes left, so it should be fine.
Bilbao does manage to get the car going and are setting off on their second attempt. Speeding up through their second right-hander, the timed one. A little aggressive on the switchover, but finding it nice. 5.42 on the right hand. Oh, and a big power slide through the finish. It is a 5.38 overall.
Yeah, the driver was really fighting the car. A lot of understeer in the left one, but then it went on throttle on the exit and actually did a really nice slide, as you mentioned. And is it finally happening? We have the car from Tsinghua, Taiwanese team, making its way to Skidpad. And I don't want to overhype it too much, but they are really good at Skidpad, so I do expect a good time from them.
It is looking a little bit tentative at first. And unfortunately, one more driver not navigating the switchover the way you would expect them to.
Yeah, also the timing is a little bit off or slow, not sure what's happening there. This driver is called Tam, apparently. And yeah, something odd with the timing.
No, the timing is fine because they
yeah.
didn't cross the line.
You're right.
On the switchover.
It was just a little slow when it appeared, but no, all fine indeed. Okay, second attempt for them. I really hope the driver can both push but still keep it clean and doing all the circuits properly. How many cars did we have that misnavigated? I mean, at least 6.
I feel like by this point, probably closer to 10 even. It does seem to be quite a challenging switchover. So also gentle over that first bump.
I mean, the car does look really good. It looks planted, it drives really smooth, no drama. Does it also convert in a good lap time? It's a bit conservative, 5.58. Can they improve on the left? Definitely more aggressive by the driver. And the 5.0, so there's a half a second difference between right and left, giving them a total time, or at least an average time of 5.33.
And I feel like if they'd been able to do 2 full runs, I think we might have expected to even see them in the sub 5-second group.
Yeah, but as a driver, once you're out of that focus, out of the zone, you made a mistake, and then I think it's fair that you take it a little bit more cautious. Once you get in the groove, then you can push a bit more. Unfortunately for them, it sticks at a 5.33. I do feel there's a bit more in that car, so also I'm looking forward to seeing them appear on autocross tomorrow and how it behaves.
And now we see the car from Athens, car number 157. Maybe not quite as quiet as the car from San Sebastian, but still definitely one of the quieter ones. It is a 6.02 on the right-hander. The driver did struggle a little bit with the switchover.
Indeed, they did a little bit the opposite. They turned in a bit too late to the left. I think that's a slightly better approach than too early. It gives him a 5.8. Left half a second quicker than the right, so potential is in the car. Can they get it out?
Yeah, I think 5.4 on the second attempt. If they do manage to get to it, I see the car has discharged, but re-energized now.
Yeah, happened a few times this evening where cars discharge on the way home on the exit line here. Of course, as long as you can restart yourself, it doesn't really matter, and it's all fine. But it is an odd thing to see. Going for their second run immediately, which I think is a clever thing to do. If you have a banker in, you have hot tires, then you can really go for it in the second round.
I think 5.44.
5.44, yeah, okay, I want 5.35. Go a little bit more ambitious. Looks a bit the same as the previous run though. So I think it might have been a bit too ambitious, our estimations. Oh no. Also, went a bit too late first time, now a bit too soon the second. And unfortunately, that's going to be their second attempt for Athens.
Yes, unfortunately, that is a DNF for Athens on run number 2 out of 2. There is one more car that joined the queue while we were not looking. I think I took a glance. It was car number 79, or maybe a 73.
Indeed, if it is 73, that's possible. That could be the second run for Düsseldorf. They did have a bit of an odd first run where they had some issues, I think, with the throttle pedal. Driver went back, and hopefully they fixed it now for the second run. Of course, we're speculating that this is car 73 in the queue now, but it is possible indeed.
I mean, the first digit was definitely a 7. Can't quite make out what the second digit is.
Or is it 9? No, a 73, you're right.
Yeah, okay, Düsseldorf. right, it does look like Dusseldorf will be getting up for their second run. And I think the queue is empty. Otherwise, there might be 1 or 2 cars in the prep area. But not sure if those have already completed all of their runs or not. In any case, for now, car number 73.
With some cool lighting that also changes a bit, turning from red to blue sometimes. Their first run was a DNF. I don't quite remember what happened. Maybe they also had some navigation issues. Let's hope they can do a nice and quick Skidpad. Steady, that's for sure. Clipping some cones, unfortunately. It was a 6.4 on the right. Cleanly making its way second time to the left.
It's a little faster on the left.
Indeed, 6.06, so an average time of 6.25. And the team is extremely happy. I mean, they got a run in, have a decent time, gather some points, so congratulations to them. And yeah, the queue is empty. I do not see anyone in the dynamic area either. So it will be silent for, I think, the coming 10 minutes. We'll stand by if something happens. But so far, I do not see any cars in the distance. Mickey is signaling to me that there's one car somewhere. I think in a minute, Mickey will be here, or it's even closer in the dynamic area. So it seems to be Erlangen who is in the dynamic area here. Then I guess for their second run, Erlangen was the car with the really weird throttle pedal, so they will definitely be trying to make a second attempt. So they will hopefully appear here again. And other than that, we're doing a little bit of research to see if there are still teams that made it through scrutineering and should appear yet, but I think it will be relatively calm for the coming minutes.
Yeah, looking at the technical inspection status, 60 out of 80 teams have passed the manual brake test. And if we count right now the expected second run from Erlangen, that will be 106 runs total, assuming everybody did all the runs. That is 53 teams. So somewhere out there, there might still be 6 or 7 teams hiding, waiting until the last moment to make a dramatic entrance. Yeah, we'll be here waiting to see if they do indeed arrive. Just as we were saying that, Matti, I do see a team with a front wing but without a rear wing making its way into the prep area. I'm not sure if we have seen that combination out on the track yet. Could potentially be Beirut. Oh, and we have our next contestant setting off. I don't see a car number, but a couple of very distinctive flags. Let's see what the driver can do. Very, very smooth through the first right-hander. The car definitely in a steady state through the timed half. Ooh, in the high 10 seconds. Let's see if they can improve on the left-hander like we've seen it before. And they do improve. A 10.67 overall. But enough levity. We do have a new car approaching the start line. Very distinctive appearance. They do have a front wing. They do not have a rear wing. It is the contestant from Bochum. The driver sets off pretty tentatively. Carefully feeling their way through their first attempt. Not sure if the car is potentially also limited in its performance.
Yeah, the car is making me think a bit of, I think it was Peugeot with their World Endurance car, the hypercar, who also went with the no rear wing concept. I'm not 100% sure it was Peugeot, and their vision was to get everything out of the diffuser. I'm not sure if this was also the vision of Bochum. I do not see the diffuser, so maybe it's just the rear wing not being finished on time. But it didn't necessarily look oversteered, so I don't think they had a lot of problems from it. And let's hope they can go a little bit quicker on the second run. Will they do a second run immediately? Let's hope so, otherwise we have to wait again for them.
No, it seems they are lining up for their second run immediately. It was a 7.14 on the first attempt, but clean, no cones clipped. Let's see if they can do the common 3/10 improvement.
A bit smoother, slightly bit quicker, I would say, but more or less. Oh no, it's an improvement.
It's considerably quicker. The car sounds like a bee or a wasp.
Yeah. Indeed, yeah. It's a little bit of a, I don't want to say annoying sound, but if I hear this at night, then I would want to hear that.
But they do improve on their second run. I see a 6.62, so a whole half-second improvement. Well done, Bochum.
And now, how long do we have to wait for the car from Erlangen? It is going through the checks in the queue. I think it already passed the electrical checks. Then my guess would be, is this more like the mechanical checks? And then they also do a briefing for the driver to tell them where to go. Apparently still some drivers make some mistakes. So the briefing is quite crucial.
I think this will be the second attempt of the driver, so I'm not sure if they'll have to do the whole briefing once more. But the tractive system is indeed engaged and they are being waved through.
Indeed, Marshall is waving that they can move forward. Again, look, they seem to have a similar issue where they have a very sensitive throttle pedal. They are struggling to, you know, slowly get it rolling, although it does look better than before. So fingers crossed that they solved their issue. Oh yeah, this looks smoother now. All right.
I'm sure this is not the pace they would want to be doing the Skidpad in. So hopefully they can have a steady, not super twitchy, faster second run.
Yeah, looks better. Still a little bit of very sensitive throttle, but car is very eager to go. So maybe it was the torque factoring after all. clipping a cone there, and yeah, driver really seems to have difficulties controlling the speed of the car. But
It doesn't find a bit more of a steady state on the left hand.
without a mistake, it would have been a really good left-hander. And oh, the car discharged, so maybe that's part of the reason why it suddenly understeered onto the exit.
It was a very interesting T-Sol color combination. It was a flashing green and yellow. I'm not sure I've seen something like that before. Yeah, not sure what it means.
No, me neither. Maybe I feel like with the yellow lights is often used with the driverless to indicate that the car is ready, but it's weird to see it on the T-Sol as well. So it's also a color code I do not recognize for being a T-Sol light. Anyways, the run itself looked okay. They had one or two codes maybe, but at least they got a time on the board, so good for them.
Yeah, it's in the 5.5 second range, so pretty good time as well.
And unfortunately, no cars now in the queue, no cars anymore in the dynamic area, at least not what we can see. So it will be silent again for the next coming minutes. We still have, I think, about 20 minutes left. My watch stopped showing the time now. I know 18 minutes left in the session. I'm not sure if we're theoretically might be expecting a few cars still, but I'm not sure if our information is properly up to date.